Ojo Bobo, Ojo Bobo, Ojo Bobo, Ojo Bobo. Hi. Hey, look! Look! They came back. They came back for another video. You are strange people, but you must be here. You must be interested. So, you want to check out what we're doing today? Today we're going to be making the pounder. You have seen this one on live stream, but be warned if you're going to watch that live stream that I get a little bit festy, and that's why I'm making videos now. So yeah, guys, we're going to be making the pounder, and out from You Vote I Draw, I'm going to be using polymer clay. This stuff here. I am going to be putting some going to be talking over it. So if you do enjoy it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the talking over the written words over the top of it, and I will see you at the end to see what you think of it. Welcome back to the third episode of You Draw I Make, and we drew the pounder this week in week 3, and yeah, we're using polymer clay once again. Got some tin foil and all that. I'm trying a little bit something different. I'm not going to put wording, I'm not going to spell everything so you don't have to read anything this time. I'm going to sort of just talk over it, so hopefully it's a bit of style and you'll actually enjoy it. There is a stream if you want to check out and more detail on how and explain what I'm doing each time, but this time once again we're using a nail varnish. I'm turning this picture into a nail varnish holder. I've only got black, so black's only colour, but if you were interested in having another colour made, then let me know and I'll get down to that, because I do sell everything that I make, and I do make things to order. But yeah, we start out with some tin foil and just wrap it around, make the core. I did choose tin foil this time. You don't have to use any kind of like expensive stuff. You go get cheap stuff, that's what I do. Go be a cheap girl like me. I am on TikTok. I did do this one TikTok. I've kind of stopped that for now. You've seen the videos why I've done that, but we roll out the clay, make it nice and soft first with your hands, and just sort of roll it out. You can use anything. Don't use anything that is wood because it will stick to the polymer clay, because it's a polymer and wood is polymer, so all the sap and things like that. So yeah, you don't want to be using wood. You want to be using something plastic, metal, or glass, or anything like that. Once you've done all the flattening out, it's probably about as thin as a pancake or a crepe. You want to start wrapping it around the core that you've made. You want to take your time with this. This is just a sped up video, but yeah, you want to take your time with this. Get it nice and thorough, and make sure as you're going around that you make sure there's no air bubbles in it, because once you start baking, the baking will bubble and the air will try and escape and things like that. So you want to be sort of careful with that. Moving on to the, I think we're moving on to now. Moving on to the legs. No, moving on to the arms. Again, the same process. You want to get some tin foil, make a like a shape that you're going to be wrapping your clay around, and do the same process as you did for the main body part that you can see there. Again, this one's called the pounder. The idea of the pounder is it lives in a world where the gravity is quite low, so the weight of it doesn't really make, and that's why it's got little wings. You'll see me make wings towards the end of the video if you want to learn how to do those. But again, we're doing the arms, so we make a little core for the arms, or an armature as it's called, and just sort of mould it to shape. Get sort of faff around with it until you're kind of happy with it, and then you get your clay, flatten it out, and wrap it around the armature you made. Once you've done all of that, and you've wrapped it around you, again you want to make sure there's no air bubbles in it, and sort of, you can mould it pre-putting it on. I did on this one, but I don't always. Sometimes I put it on, then I will shape it and put the paws or feet or hands or whatever. I did it all together this time because I thought it would work together. And they're only paws, so I just sort of tried to like get them as close to the picture as possible. I had a bit of a faff in. I did wrap a bit more clay around, as you can see, just to make it a bit more thicker, because the core wasn't quite thick enough for the main part that I was trying to do. Again, I'm going with the arms here, and I'm just sticking them on, mould them on, and do all the normal stuff. You can see these in a more better thing, things like that. Yeah. Talking over is a bit more different than putting more wording. This is why I put wording, because I don't really know what to say. But yeah, then we're going to think about other things. We're going to do the head, we can do the legs and other things like that next. But yeah, I'm just faffing as I go along in the stream. Right on, there's the arms all sorted out, put on. Now it's time for the feet. Again, get a nice bit of tinfoil. Again, it doesn't have to be dear stuff, you can use really cheap stuff. Anything, any kind of thing that you can make into a core. You can even use bits of stick, wood, whatever, wire, whatever you want to use really. Tinfoil is my favourite because it does hold a core and it's quite light. You don't have to use as much clay because you can really fold it up and mould it up fairly well, I would say. Down the legs. I was going to separate them and I thought to myself probably be better if I separate them so I can have them sitting on each other so I can sort of mould it and have it shape, have it kind of in a sitting way, because I thought not having it all together would have made it look weird, and I would have had to shape around and I would have had to do a load more moulding that I didn't want to have to do because I was doing it live and I just wanted to get on with it and get it sorted. Same old process, flatten out your clay, put it around the core and mould it on to the shape that you want. Took me a while to get the shape and the Buddha pose that the poudare is actually sitting in, so I was sort of faffed around with it. Again, it was going to be sitting flat and I wanted it to not rock or move or anything because it's a nail varnish holder, it's going to be functionable. So I was like, how am I going to do this so it can sit on the desk or sit on the shelf or wherever you're going to put it. I was like, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. So I put the feet together and faffed around and faffed and faffed. You want to take your time when you're doing, you put on the clay things. You don't want to do it fast and you don't want to feel like you're being rushed, because the more I can't even talk. The more that you feel that you've rushed, the more that you will start to mess things up and you'll think, oh god, that doesn't look very nice, and you'll just start to hate it. And I generally start to hate things within 10 minutes of starting to make them, because it's like, that doesn't look what I want it to do. And I'll keep mashing around with it. That's why I'm doing a lot of stuff off stream at the moment, because I can take my time with it, because I know when I'm on stream I get really ratty, and then in this particular stream I got the most rattiest I've ever been. So bear in mind if you do watch the stream that there's no swearing in it, but it I get a bit ratty and things like that. But that was the first stage, because we've done all the bits that I wanted to do. I can't remember, I can't see if I've baked it or not. Oh, okay, yeah, have I baked this? I think I have, yeah, so we've baked it already. So now I can, I'm not sure if I've baked it. Have I baked it? Yeah, I must be touching it, so yeah, I must have baked it. Yeah, okay, for the baking it's 110 Celsius, Fahrenheit, whatever. And I say about 20 to 30 minutes. Check it at 20 minutes, but in 30 minutes you want to sort of definitely take it out after 30 minutes, because it will start to burn. You don't want to burn it, because not only it will change its colour, it will definitely start to bubble, start to like shrink, bubble, and then it just turn into a complete blob of mess. No, I haven't actually baked it, because at the head part I decided that I wasn't going to do the head, I was going to pre-bake it, because if you I sort of bake it at certain points, because if I don't bake it at certain points, what happens is I kind of tend to smush things. Everything you've made previously, I'll sort of smush it. So if you want to bake you want to bake in between each sort of section of the body. Normally I just make the armature and I'll bake that. Then I'll do the outer details if it's got clothing, or if I've got legs and hands to put on. I'll do what I'll do is I'll bake it at the core stage, then I'll bake it at the clothing or minor details, and then I will bake that again, and I'll start with the hands, unless I'll make the hands separately and I'll put them on later on, but again I'll add more clay, so you'll have to bake it again. At this particular time I think I'm actually putting a load of details onto it before I bake it, because I wanted to get the nails on. I think those nails, a couple of those nails have actually fallen off. So yeah, you want to be kind of careful when you put them on, make sure they're properly fixed. I've learned a new way of doing it now. I think now I'm scoring the belly. Can't really see much, but I'm scoring the belly. So you can, like you said in the picture there, you've got a little bit between the fur and just straight up detail piece. So with the detail tool I've got there, it's like a fork. You can use a fork, you can use plastic tools. Again, don't ever use wood because it'll just mess up what you're trying to do. Stick to it. You don't have to use special tools. You can use anything that's around the house, as long as it's got texture that you want to use. Just use that as the texturing tool. Now I baked it. So yeah, I baked it at 110 Celsius or Fahrenheit, whichever you use. I think it's 250 Celsius and 110 Fahrenheit, something like that. I don't know, bloody know. But yeah, whatever. So I baked it again for the smushing issue. I didn't want to sort of smush it whilst trying to put the head on, because I knew that the head was going to be. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the head, so I wasn't sure if I was going to sort of put it partly the same as I've done the Dogen, so it's completely attached, or if I was going to make the head come off. In this action, I realised that the head could come on and off, and I sort of worked with that. Again, I'm shaping the armature underneath the tin foil. You can sort of shape it the same similar shapes you want, but you can always add more clay to shape the clay in a different way, like I keep doing. Add a little bit more, add a little bit more, and just sort of faff around with it, really get it to the right shape of what the picture looks like. Again, I'm working from a picture, but I don't always work from a picture. I kind of like working from a picture, so I know what I'm making. But yeah, just faff and mold and create. And now we're going into the ears, I believe. No, we're not doing the mouth and the snout. Should we call it the snout? The little nose, little mouth there. Again, keep copying the picture we've got on the side as close to as possible. Giving little nostrils there. There we go. Pop it on. Again, make sure it's fixed. So you want to sort of mould the clay. You can warm it up a little bit, and if it's warm, it will stick a lot easier. but you don't have to. You can sort of use your tool to push in things like that. You don't tend to leave little indents. Now we are working on the ears, little circles. No, we're not. We're working on the eyes. Little circles for the eyes. I think I indent them, so I push a little hole into them. Now we're working on the ears. I've done all the texturing for the eyes and things like that, so I'm just again working on the ears. Same principle with any kind of when you're sticking a new bit onto a piece you've already done. This isn't baked, so it is nice and soft already. Got to be careful when you're putting things on that you've already moulded. You're not going to squish the thing you've made. You can see in the top there that I made myself a little pick of destiny. If you're interested in things like that, then let me know down below in the comments, because I make things for you guys out there. Make things to request. I've had a few requests throughout the years, and I am quite happy to make anything you can think of. It could be anything from monster cans, it could be things from popular culture, it could be things that you've drawn yourself. Let me know in the comments what you would like, and I'll get myself talking to you. You can come and talk to me in personal message either over on Instagram, Bloot084 Art and Games, or there's TikTok. You can personal message me over there, and I'll give you my personal WhatsApp, and we'll have a chat, and I'll send you pictures. Right, the wings. Yes, the wings were a bit of a faff. I got ratty at this stage. So it was I just got ratty with it. I think I'd had enough of live streaming for that day, and I was like, right, okay, I just want to get these done. But the best way to do your wings, you've got to have I would prefer to use wire, but I had no wire to hand, so I just rolled up a piece of tin foil in like a wiry type thing, put it into shape, and then I'm just sort of folding it, molding it, making it look like the picture there, or as close to I can get it. Again, you want to flatten it down to about a pancake or a crepe if you're French. If you're American, it's not American style pancakes, it's English type pancakes. You're going to flatten it down, make it nice and squished, and later I'll show you how to actually do the feathers. Just like this fella here. If you do remember making blue angle, we're doing feathers exactly the same way, but I'm baking it once again because I don't want to smush anything. Ooh. Now we've baked that, and that's nice and solid, so we're not going to mush it, you're not going to smush it, because the last thing you want is to smush anything that you pre-made. And there's the head. There's, like I say, put all the textures on. I put a little bit extra texture on it afterwards because I completely forgot to do it in stream. That one there's next. That one will be coming in maybe a week or so. That's the mechanical. I'm using magnets once again, like the cyan board cap. Right. I'll show you that off again. Pick Destiny. Alright, feathers. They are a pig to do. These were anyway, because they were a lot smaller than ones I've made before. I didn't think they would be as difficult as what they were going to be, but they were very difficult. Well, fiddly. I wouldn't say difficult, they were just fiddly, and I got very cross with it because it was so fiddly. I don't really like fiddly things, well, I don't like doing them when I'm live anyway. I don't mind doing them off stream because I can take my time and I don't have to explain anything. I just go along and get it done. Just cutting a little bit off. You don't want to, sort of measure up how big they want to be before you start making the feather. Score down the middle and feather up the side. Little scores on the side there, and then just sort of fix it on. You just repeat that process over and over again till you get to the point where you've got a sort of a decent looking wing. And each time you put one on, you want to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And if you it sort of helps with the way that an actual wing looks. These don't look exactly like wings, but these are my style of wing that I would make. But if you want a different style of wing, again, just let me know and I'll get that one made. You want to score down the middle. When I say score, you want to not cut all the way through of the clay. And again, same idea with the feathering. And this takes me a while to do. finally some wings that look like wings, or feathers that have feathers. I did it on both sides, to my own dismay of doing it. There was some on the front and some on the back of the base plate that you saw me make at the beginning. Again, I baked it before doing this stage, but they're looking fairly wingly, feathery, feathers there, stuff like that. And we're coming to the end of the video, because I forgot to put the rest of this in. So if you have enjoyed this, guys, and you want to see the full and finished piece before I'm painting it, and I'm going to be painting it, that will be coming in the next video, so keep tuned for that. And thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hit that like button if you have. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.